Everyone, Phoenix here, and I'm here today in Supermarket Together to give you guys a quick, no-nonsense tutorial on how manufacturing works in the game. Now yes, manufacturing has been in the game for a few months now, and I might be a little late to the party. But me and a friend recently jumped back into the game after being away from it for a while, and there have been so many changes since we last played. One of the big things we wanted to check out was the new manufacturing system. So naturally, we did what any responsible supermarket owners would do. We threw a bunch of money at unlocking everything, bought some machines, placed down whatever looked important, and then immediately realized we had no idea what we were doing. After trying to figure this system out on my own, I had so many questions, and honestly, I noticed there really weren't many great videos out there explaining how the manufacturing system actually works. So I decided if you want something done right, do it yourself. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the basics of the manufacturing system, how to unlock your first recipes, how production works, and a few things that I wish I knew before I went down this rabbit hole. So let's get started. Now, before you can start manufacturing, the first thing you need is the actual manufacturing department space. Now, this is important because you don't just magically start producing items right away. You can only place down the machines you need inside this very specific department. So before anything else, you have to purchase the department space for manufacturing. But that space is also locked behind specific storage spaces that you have to unlock first. And as you can already see, this is going to get really expensive really fast, especially if you are still near the beginning of the game. So it's probably best not to rush into this too early. You're not just buying one machine and calling it a day. You need the department space, manufacturing machines, research machines, shelves and fridges for the finished products, and of course, the ingredients you're going to use to make everything. So before you go crazy buying every machine you can, make sure you can still have enough money left to keep your store running. Once you're ready though, this is what you'll need. First, head over here to the map board in your office. Click on that, and then the production space is going to be right up here in the middle between this like shipping area here and the order packaging area right here. So this one here with the gears. Now, if you click on that, you will see down here, manufacturing, $75,000. So like I said, it's going to be expensive. And right under here, you'll see the storage requirements. So you are going to need to unlock the space 0, 4, 8, 9, and 10. So if we click on the different options up here in our storage space back here, you'll see this is number 0, there's 4, 8, 9, and 10. So you're going to have to unlock at least these guys right here before you can unlock this section. Once you've purchased those though, then you can go ahead and purchase the manufacturing department here. Now, once you have the manufacturing department space purchased, this is where you can finally start placing down the machines and the equipment that you're going to need. So if we hit tab to bring up your build menu, and then we hit X a couple of times until we are on this section with manufacturing machinery right here, as you can see. The two main things you're going to need at first are the research machine and the manufacturing machine. The research machine is what lets you discover new recipes. The production machine is what actually creates the products once you have those recipes unlocked. So don't make the mistake of only buying the production machine and expecting everything to work right away. If you don't have recipes unlocked, you're not going to be able to really do anything with it. For now, the easiest way to think about this is this way. Research unlocks the recipes and the production machine makes the products. And then later, once those products are made, you'll need the correct place to display and sell them. But we'll get to that part in a minute. When you're first starting out, I wouldn't go overboard and buy every machine you can. Get the basic setup working first, figure out how the system flows, and then expand once you know what you actually need. Because trust me, it's very easy to spend a ton of money in this department before you even understand what half of it does. In fact, at the time of making this video, there's a few things I still haven't figured out yet. Once you have your department space and your basic machines placed down, the next thing you need to do is to start researching recipes. Now, you don't automatically get every recipe right away. You have to discover them first using the research machine. The way this works is pretty simple. Take a basic product, bring it to your research machine and place it in there, and let it run until the research is finished. One important thing to know is that research only progresses while the game clock is running. So if the store isn't open yet, or it's already closed for the night, your research will not move forward. Also, not every product in the game is going to unlock a recipe. There is a specific list of products that lead to different recipes. So you can't just throw random items in and expect something new every single time. But as a good rule of thumb, these 6 basic products are a great place to start: flour, water, butter, salt, fruit, and sliced bread. With just these few items, you can unlock a lot of the early manufacturing recipes. Just keep in mind, you may need to research the same product more than once because some items can give you different recipe results. So the basic idea is put a product in the research machine, open the store, let time pass, and once the research finishes, you'll unlock a recipe you can use in the manufacturing machine. Now, once you have a recipe unlocked, you can move over to the production machine and actually start making products. When you interact with the machine, you'll be able to choose from the recipes you've unlocked so far. As you can see here, I've got quite a few, but there's still plenty more I haven't gotten yet. Now, at first glance, this menu can be confusing. So over here, you have your recipes, such as base bread, whole wheat bread, donuts, custom cakes, etc., etc. Now, the next thing to talk about is combinables. Some of these items over here, such as donuts or cakes or fruit salads, will have a list of other items that you can combine with the basic one. So I could just make a regular custom cake with nothing in it. I could hit manufacture right here and it would pop up, and then that would make 10 of these in a box. But a custom regular cake with nothing in it just seems kind of bland. So instead, I'm going to choose one of our combinables over here, such as strawberry, and then I could make a strawberry cake. And if I wanted to, I could add multiple of these combinables into a single cake, such as bananas, kiwis, mangoes, oranges, as many as I wanted to off of this list, and then hit manufacture, and then that would add that to our list here, our queue of items, and that cake would have all of these items in this. Now, it is going to be a more expensive item for our customers to buy, the more combinables that you put into it, but you can do all kinds of different variations. Now, let's say I decided I want to make this cake, but I don't want to make either of these other two, the first one or the last one. So what I would do then is you can just hit X, and that cancels it out of the queue by just clicking over top of that like that. Now, the one thing I haven't really figured out yet, and I'm beginning to think it's just not in the game and you're not able to do it, is how to get rid of one of these items off of your selected recipe. For example, let's just say I've added all of these into the selected recipe, but I misclicked, or I decided, you know what, I don't want to do that. I just want to do strawberry and banana. I don't want kiwis and oranges and stuff in it. Well, as far as I can tell, there's no way to do it. The only way I found to do this is you have to exit out, go back in, reselect your cake, and then reselect your items, strawberries and bananas, and then hit manufacture, which will then add it to the queue. Hopefully this is one of the things that gets fixed in a future update, but for now, I don't know of any other way to get rid of these. So let's go through the process of making a recipe here in the production machine. Let's go ahead and choose base bread right there and then hit manufacture. As you can see, there's no combinables for that. It's just basic bread. So we'll hit manufacture to add that to our queue right there, and then head out of the machine menu. And then now you're going to see a list of items up here that you're going to need to make this. The important thing to know is that the machine does not magically pull ingredients from your store. Even if you have the items in stock, you still have to bring them over, load them in the machine yourself, or have one of your employees do it. Now, as you can see here, it literally says add at least one ingredient from each color. So we're going to need flour of some sort, water of some sort, baking powder, and olive oil. I don't need all 3 of the different types of flour, all 2 or 3 of the water and the baking powder and olive oil. I only need 1 of these from each color. Now, this is the part that confused me the most at first. Once you know what ingredients you need, how do you actually put them into the machine? To do that, you're going to need trays, which you can find under the menu here for devices. If you scroll down through the list, you're going to see organizer trays right here. So let me place some of these down right here in our room. Now, just to make note, you do actually already have some of these trays here in your main office, but I actually prefer to have them closer as it just makes for easier access to them, especially for our employees. All right, so let's take one of these trays. Let's try to remember what ingredients we're going to need. As of now, there's no way to pin that so that we can see it. Again, that would be a great update for the game to be able to pin the recipe. But we're going to need flour, water, baking powder, and oil. All right, so let's head out into our shopping center here, and we're going to find these ingredients. First up is going to be water. So I'll choose one of these waters. Obviously, the more expensive water will result in a more expensive product. So, but we just need, water. I'll right click on the item to add it to my tray, as you can see there. Then grab the rest of our items, such as the baking powder, olive oil, and some flour. Once you have those all on your tray, head back over to your production area and then click on each one of these. And as you can see, it takes it all off the list and production of that item begins. You can see we have the progress bar right there showing the item that's being made. And if you have other items queued in, they'll be on this list right here as well. So the basic flow is choose your recipe, check the required ingredients, grab a tray, collect the ingredients, bring them back to the machine and load them in, and production will start. Once the machine finishes producing your item, you're not done just yet. Now you need to take the finished product and get it ready to sell. This is where another important detail comes in. Manufactured products cannot just go on any normal shelf. They have to be placed on the correct manufacturing display. Depending on a product, that might be a specific manufacturing shelf, or it might need the manufacturing fridge. So if you make something and you're trying to stock it like a normal product, but the game won't let you place it anywhere, there's a good chance you're using the wrong shelf or fridge. The specific shelf and fridge you need are actually located under Manufacturing Shelves menu, which oddly is before the Manufacturing Machinery menu. I don't know. I don't get it, but hey, it's a free game, so who's complaining? Anyway, find that menu, scroll down, and then you will see the manufacturing product shelf and the manufacturing fridge. Also in this menu is manufacturing storage shelf labeled and unlabeled, which you can place down in here, as you see I have, for all of the stuff that you're going to make for storage before it actually goes out to the floor. So the basic flow after production is you wait for the machine to finish, take the finished product from the machine, bring it to the correct shelf or fridge out on the floor, place it there, and then it is ready to sell. One thing to note is you cannot change the prices of the manufactured items. Those are set in stone currently, and there's no way to tune them up or down. The price is the price, and essentially depends on what ingredients were used. Now that you have a basic understanding of how manufacturing works, next up is getting your employees to do all the work for you. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is choose an employee who has a pretty good understanding of manufacturing. Either hire one or one that you already have. Set them to manufacturing. The size of my store right now, I am using 3 of these guys currently. And once they are set for the manufacturing role, what they will do is only work with the manufacturing stuff, which is why the shelves are separate from the product shelves. They will grab anything that's on the product shelves here for manufacturing products specifically, and ran them out to the floor where they can restock. And if anything needs to be made here in our machines, such as, let's do some more, lemon donuts, for example. They will grab the products, bring it over here, and let production automatically start. Once the production finishes, they will grab that product and either take it straight out to the floor if needed, or throw it into one of the assigned bins here on our storage racks. It doesn't completely automate the entire process though. If you start running low on a product, you have to be the one to recognize that and actually set the queue up for what you want to actually be manufactured. The employees don't automatically do that for you, so you have to do it. You also have to do all the researching yourself as well. The employees don't do that. For the most part though, as long as you have the product, they will keep most of your inventory pretty stocked. All right, so now just a few quick tips to summarize before you start spending a ton of money on this system. First, don't rush into manufacturing too early. This setup gets expensive fast, especially when you factor in the department space, the storage spaces you need before it, the machines, the shelves, fridges, trays, all the ingredients you'll be using. Second, keep extra ingredients on hand. Remember, the manufacturing machine does not pull ingredients from thin air. If a recipe needs flour, water, butter, or anything else, you need to actually have those products available and bring them to the machine. Third, keep researching. Even if you already have a few recipes unlocked, it's worth continuing to research more products while your store is open. Some items can unlock multiple recipes, so researching the same item again can still give you something new. Fourth, make sure you are using the correct display. Manufacturer products have to go on the specific manufacturing shelf or fridge, and if the game won't let you place the finished product, you're probably trying to put it on the wrong thing. And finally, try to keep your manufacturing setup organized. Having trays near the machines, ingredients easy to grab, and the finished product displays close enough to reach will make this whole system a lot less annoying. Once you understand the loop, it's pretty simple. Research the recipe, choose what you want to make, bring the ingredients to the machine and start production, and then move the finished products to the correct displays, and your customers will buy it. In fact, they will buy it in droves. I went through so much bread so fast when I first started this. It is definitely a money maker for you. And that should pretty much cover the basics of how manufacturing works in Supermarket Together. There may be a few small details I missed, so if there's anything about the process you know that I didn't mention, or if you still have any questions, definitely let me know down in the comments. Hopefully this covered enough to get you started with the manufacturing quickly and easily without dragging things out too much. And if you want to see more tutorials for Supermarket Together or other business sim games like this, let me know that as well. Subscribe for more quick tutorials, playthroughs, business sim content. I'll see you guys in the next one.